All right, peace, and blessings, family. I go by the name of DJ912, and right now I'm back with another product review. I'm gonna make this one shorter because last one was a live cook-up, but we are reviewing Curtis King's Tapeboy. It just dropped. Plug-in super awesome. It's 40 bucks. And what I did was I just dropped some loops in here from my website, superloops.com. You can check it out in the description below. It was my first loop pack, the Conglomerate Volume 1. So I just dropped a couple loops in here to give y'all guys an idea of what you can do with Curtis King's plug-in Tapeboy, which is a cassette emulator. Right? So let's go with the first one. That might not be a good one because it's already got some tape emulation. All right, so first off, you got this mix wheel over here on the left. Now the mix is how much is actually on and how much is actually off. And the cool thing about this, when you start pulling the mix back, the tape emulator start fading. So that lets you know how much on and off on the mix side. It's just a good intuitive thing, you know what I'm saying? So then you have your ducking right here, which you'll hear it, and I explain it when it's being done, and you know what the wobble effect does. Also, you have your volume. So let's go. Let's just loop it out. Let's hit this 8-bit side. Now the cool thing about it, these three buttons right here, the lo-fi, the warm, and the 8-bit, it also have different presets in the bottom as well. So you can get a couple different things, get a couple different variations of each sound, right? So let's just focus on this part down here first. It's so smooth, man, I promise you. Right? And then we go over here to this warm button. Like I said, you got a couple different presets down here, so this is what we're focusing on now. So let's switch from that one. Let's go to lo-fi mode. See, lo-fi mode, it adds ambient background noises to it. So like those low little textural noises that you want to hear sometimes, but you don't want it to over dominate the track, it already has it in here, and that's what make it cool as well. And at this point, there's no need for RC20 period. Let's check this part out. Now, if you didn't know, if you come up here and you click, you got a frequency sweep. So you can cut out some of the lows, you can cut out some of the highs, but here you go. And the fact that you can EQ it just a tad bit from the plugin versus actually going and adding another plugin is kind of cool too. So you can get some of your frequency cuts off top, and it ain't gonna be a whole lot of difference from what you're doing here. You might just have a tad bit more control, but it ain't like you're gonna go crazy with your EQs. You're probably gonna roll off some lows and roll off a couple high-end frequencies, and that'll be it. But let's switch over and go to the next loop. Remember, you guys can get this loop pack at my Shopify store, superloops.com. So that's the loop. Power it back on. Let's see what we got. I'm gonna start this one off with lo-fi. So you see how the ducking already give you that volume adjustment without adding a gross beat or another plugin. Like that's what you need it for, if you want to add that within your loops. Slip it over to the warm side. Now let's cut it off and let's hear the difference. You see how quick we got to that point, man? We got to that point very quick. It didn't take a lot of time to load this plugin. It's simply just click, popping this on. You know what I mean? You can save your presets up here. You also, is it this button? All right. So you can build a 7-day streak. You know what I'm saying? Going towards your first reward. So you actually get rewarded for actually even using the plugin. You know what I mean? So you got day 1, which I'm on right now. You know what I mean? We're gonna do a cook up in a minute. It gives you the time and the hours, but it also gives another feature. I don't know what you unlock on each one of these, but I think it's like discount codes, different packs and stuff like that. So yeah, you got your animation button. You see the car, you see the wheels moving in it if you want it. All right, before I forget, this volume wheel actually gives you a little bit more boost on your samples as well. You know what I mean? So that's a plus as well. So you don't have to worry about going in other places just to find the volume knob to turn the sample up. You got it all right here in one plugin. You know what I mean? You got your simple EQ right here on the bottom. You got your mix, you know what I'm saying? Your wet and your dry, on and off. And you got your volume wheel. You really don't need much else, you know what I'm saying, from a cassette emulation plugin. This is pretty dope. I think the possibilities is gonna be endless, especially when we, compile it with other different plugins. And I'm gonna keep using it. I probably won't use RC20 no more, to be honest. This is a great plugin, man. So I'm gonna make sure I leave a link to this plugin in the description below, which is Curtis King's Tapeboy VST plugin. Go cop it. And it's super inexpensive. Well, it ain't but $40. It ain't too many plugins that we can get. There's great quality that gives you great sound and for a cheap price. You know what I mean? $40, you can't beat it. It's a 5 out of 5 on a cassette emulation. When I want to use something, I know that this is gonna load fast, and I can make my adjustments very, very quick. And as producers, we need those quick adjustments, fast, easy, and in a hurry. So that's my product review of Curtis King's Tapeboy. I suggest every producer get it, because once you got enough pianos, ambient sounds, and all this other stuff, you need some effects to spice your beat up a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? To give it a little bit more creativity. That's Curtis King's Tapeboy. Make sure you go to superloops.com, Cop this sample pack. That pack, the Conglomerate Volume 1. And we out.